Subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. Because today's story reveals a truth that will shake your heart. A kidnapped girl signaled the bikers, they didn't think twice. Full emotional story, 2 chapters, strong hook, long format. Sometimes, life changes in a single heartbeat. And on that day, a 13-year-old girl's trembling hand became the reason her life was saved. This story begins on a lonely road, with hot daylight slicing through the silence. And ends with the roar of engines belonging to men the world often misunderstands. But that day, their humanity roared louder than their bikes. Hook, if she had waited even one more second, someone else would be telling her story today. The afternoon sun blazed down on an empty stretch of road cutting through quiet hills. Heat shimmered on the asphalt. A dusty white van rattled along the edge, and inside it, tied, terrified, and barely able to breathe, sat 13-year-old Nyla. 2 men had grabbed her on her way home from school. Everything happened too fast, her screams swallowed, her hands bound, her mouth covered. The only light reaching her came from a tiny crack in the window, a sliver of daylight that gave her one sliver of hope. Maybe someone would see her. Maybe someone would understand. But the road was empty. Her heart pounded as she tried to peek outside. Every second felt stolen. Every hum of an engine far away felt like a chance slipping through her fingers. Until suddenly, the sharp roar of motorcycles echoed from a distance. 3 bikers appeared, riding in formation, black jackets, heavy boots, steel helmets, club patches on their backs. The kind of men people often cross the street to avoid. The kind of men judged at first glance. Nyla's breath hitched. She lifted her bound hands toward the crack. Just enough for a faint, shaking signal. A plea only desperate eyes could notice. But the bikers did notice. One slowed. Another signaled the group. The third pulled level with the van. No questions asked. No hesitation. Just instinct. That kid needs help. The driver saw them. Panicked. Accelerated sharply. The bikers did the same. Engines thundered. Dust exploded behind them. The van tried to swerve, but the bikers closed in, 1 on each side, the third speeding ahead. One biker smashed the side mirror with his fist. Another leaned in, shouting at the driver. The third cut sharply in front, forcing the van to brake. The van screeched. Dust rose. Silence fell. The bikers were already off their motorcycles. And Nyla felt it. This was the moment everything would change. Hook, sometimes real heroes are the people we judge before we even know them. The back door flew open. Gibran, the oldest biker, froze as he saw the terrified girl tied up inside. "Oh God, she's just a kid," he breathed. His friend cut the rope immediately. "Don't be scared, sweetheart. We're here." But danger wasn't over. The 2 kidnappers sprang from the front, one of them brandishing a knife. Gibran shielded Nyla instantly, pulling her behind his jacketed frame while his friends tackled the attackers. The knife clattered to the ground. The kidnappers were pinned. Nyla stood shaking, staring at the men who looked like danger, yet had become her protectors. Minutes later, police sirens pierced the air. The bikers handed over the kidnappers, explained everything, and even gave the officers the dashcam footage from one of their bikes. Then Nyla's mother arrived, crying, trembling, collapsing around her daughter. "You saved her, you saved my baby," she sobbed, gripping the biker's hands. Gibran's voice softened. "Ma'am, we're not bad people. We just look like it." Nyla looked up at him, really looked, and realized he wasn't scary at all. Not today. Not after what he had done. The sun dipped lower. Police cars drove away with the criminals. Nyla stood safely beside her mother, breathing freely again. The bikers started their engines. Before leaving, Gibran turned back and said, "Remember this, kid, a real person isn't defined by how they look. A real person is defined by what they do, when it matters." For the first time, Nyla smiled. She raised her hand, not for help this time, but in gratitude. The bikers roared away down the highway, their figures growing smaller, but the impact of their courage staying with her forever. If you found this story powerful and inspiring, then make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. More emotional stories are coming your way every day.